and she is going to tell us all about Sown, her local farm where she does hand-picked bouquets and pick-me bouquets and things like that with flowers. So she's going to tell us a little bit more about her story, and I'll turn it over to her.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here. If you would have told me 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, that I'd be in front of a group of entrepreneurs talking about my own business, I would have thought you had the wrong person. So I am really excited to be here though and share with you about Sown. So like she said, my name is Anna. I am originally from Enid, so not here. I moved to the area in 2021 when I married my husband Brent. We live on a farm just outside of Kildare and have two sweet little Aussie doodles, Milo and Barley. We do enjoy to travel when we have a little bit of free time from farming. We also farm wheat, Milo, soybeans, and corn, so we're pretty busy, but we do like to get away when we can. And Brent and I met at OSU. We both got our bachelor's and master's in plant and soil sciences. Go Pokes, yep. And so, yep, plant and soil, that's our thing. Also, hence the name of our dogs, Milo and Barley. But that is where we met, and I continued on for a little bit longer, and I actually obtained my PhD in crop science in 2022. So now you're wondering, okay, so why do you have a flower farm? That's a great question. Back up to undergrad, one of the summers in between my junior and senior year, I needed to get past a horrible accounting class, so I decided to get it over with in the summer and not deal with it during the semester. So I needed to find a job, and I had a friend who worked at Bear Creek Farms, a flower farm just outside of Stillwater. So I went and spent my summer there. It was wonderful, loved it, always had in my mind, well, that would be really fun to do someday, but I was kind of a realist and thought, what are the odds of having my own flower farm? I probably ought to stick to school and stick to what I'm doing. So continued on for master's, PhD. So 6 years later, I was walking across the stage for my doctorate. I had a job offer in my inbox at home, and after lots of prayer and talking with my husband and my family, I actually turned down the job offer. I just really felt like that is not what I was being called to do, and it kind of left me in a weird position. So now I am living in a new place. I am not in school for the first time in my life, and I don't have a job, so what am I to do? My husband was so patient, really sweet to let me figure out. He gave me all the time in the world. I was still helping around on the farm, which as you can imagine, there's plenty to do, so I was not bored, but I wanted something of my own, and so he just kind of let me have free reign. I had thought about doing ag research on the farm and being contracted, but honestly, the thought of more statistics and writing manuscripts was not appealing to me at all. And so I just really was left brainstorming for a while, and that was kind of a fun experience, stressful, but I just really got to figure out what is it that I want. And I have always loved science, obviously, loved being outside, being around plants and getting dirty. And so that was always there. I always had that passion, but I also had a passion for people and working with people. And so I remembered my time at the flower farm and thought, well, that would be really cool. We have the land, we have the ability. And so I happened to mention it once to Brent. We were on a little vacation to Broken Bow, and I said, I think I figured out what I want to do. And I told him, and I kid you not, when we came home 2 days later, he found probably 5 different places to go look for little greenhouses. He was in. He thought that was a great idea, and he was so supportive. So that was kind of who we are and why we're doing it. And so how we got started, let me see, maybe down. Yep, there we go. First, we ended up getting, there we go. We got our greenhouse. I got to design it. It's super cute. I love it. Having that is really beneficial. It allows me to start probably 95% or more of all of my flowers from seed, and that is a huge cost saver. So that's really advantageous to being profitable. So I started all of my plants from seed that first year. Started in January, and I still didn't have a name. I didn't have a business. I just was all in. So purchased the seed, got them started, and then I thought, okay, I need a name. So what am I going to name this? I had plenty of ideas in my head, but something with Ballagh Blooms or something with Flower Farm, and I really just came back to wanting a one-word name. I just wanted it to be kind of unique and hard-hitting, and just what is a one-word name that I can have. So that's where I came up with Sown. One reason I didn't do Sown Flower Farm, which a lot of people were kind of, why wouldn't you do Sown Flower Farm? It would tell what you're doing. And I thought, yeah, that is a really good idea. But in the end, I didn't want to be pigeonholed to one thing. I didn't want my name to limit my possibilities in the future. And so I wanted to be able to maybe venture out. And who knows what will end up happening. But I didn't want that to be the reason why I just stuck with flowers, or that I had to go through a whole rebrand. So Sown it was. And then it was time, I got my LLC once I figured that out, and then I needed to start marketing and tell people that I am around. So I needed a logo, and my sweet sister is really good with graphic design work, and so she created our logo, which I absolutely love. And not only did my sister help, but I have a lot of help. So you'll hear me refer to us as we, because I really truly feel like it's not just my business. I'm the owner, but my husband and also my mom, Terry, she is a teacher in Enid. So during the summer, she's able to come all the time. So if you've been to the farmer's market, you've seen her there. And so it really is a family affair, and I'm so grateful for that. So, the first year, I had the greenhouse, got the seeds started, got my name, got my logo, I was ready to go, right? Well, I still had to keep everything alive, which there were lots of days that there were tears, sleepless nights, stressful days, but we'll fast forward, I did have flowers, and I was thankful for that. I was blessed by good weather that first year, and had plenty of flowers. And so now I needed to sell those flowers and make it worth my while. My first year, I was pretty conservative. I was a little nervous because my business does have kind of a unique challenge that I only sell what I grow. And there are lots of risks associated with that, obviously. Bad weather, a catastrophic failure in my greenhouse, which is it's likely it could happen, especially when I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning. Insect infestation, there's just lots and lots that could go wrong, and so that I always have that in the back of my head. So that first year, I really wasn't comfortable committing flowers that I didn't have in hand. I didn't want to commit before I knew I had them, and so that led me to just sell pre-made bouquets at the florist or at the farmer's market, and then I would take buckets around to a few florists of flowers that I had, and they could just pick through what they would want. So that was my game plan for the first year, and it went well. It was fun. I got to meet people. It really was good. There was one exception that I did kind of commit to. The Harvest Hall invited me out to do their first girls' night of their series that they now do. And so we had the bouquet making workshop, and it was super fun. I did commit to flowers, but I thought, well, if all else fails, I can find flowers, but we're going to do this. And so I was able to have plenty of flowers, and it was a lot of fun. And then in December, we did another workshop at the Harvest Hall. We made wreaths, and this was the only time I sourced other material for what I was doing, and so I didn't grow the Christmas trees. But we had lots of fun with that, and so that was the first year. Okay, so the second year, we did all of the same stuff and lots more. And this was, we added quite a bit. We kind of undertook a lot this last year, but it all was super fun and worked out really well. So we expanded our growing area to just about an acre, so over double what we had the year before. This allowed for us to have more overall production, and I felt more comfortable that, okay, it's in 2 different locations on the farm. Barring anything major like a tornado, we probably will have some flowers. Like, I was pretty confident to think we might not have all we wanted, but we will have some. And so that allowed me to start offering our bouquet subscriptions. And so we launched our website and offered bouquet subscriptions. That's 4 bouquets delivered throughout the summer, and they prepay ahead of time. So Valentine's, Mother's Day, I was able to get some sales around then for summer bouquets. With the added room, I also was able to start the U-Pick and have people come out and enjoy picking their own flowers, and so that was really awesome. We held that in the same area that I had produced all my flowers the year before, and then I produced my specific flowers for subscriptions, farmers markets, everything in my own little production area on this other side. This is what you would get at the U-Pick, super fun little big cup, actually. It's a big cup. You can fit a lot of flowers in there and some flower food, get your clippers. I did branch out a little out of my comfort zone, a lot out of my comfort zone. I ended up making a couple bridal bouquets last year. I had been saying no, no, no all summer long, and towards the end, I had 2 different girls reach out to me. They both were in a bind. Their flowers fell through for their wedding, and they said, I love what you do. I just want the wildflower look. I don't really care what it looks like. I just need bouquets. And I said, I can do that. If you don't have the specifics, I can do that. And so I made a couple, and I thought they turned out really well. The brides loved them, and so that was fun. I'm not confident in branching out to that stress level yet, but that might be something in the future. And lastly, last year I added pumpkins, and they are my new obsession. I absolutely love them. And so I grew lots of different varieties. I didn't even know there were all these varieties, different textures, colors, sizes, shapes. It was so fun. And so I'll definitely be doing that again. So I had some pumpkins for a U-Pick as well. So that was the second year. It was pretty busy. It went really well, and had a lot of fun, and kind of let me see where this could go, and maybe I'll limit some areas and expand on others. Okay, so now we're going into our 3rd year, and I am adding a little bit, but I'm not adding as much as I added last year, but I will shift my focus a little bit. I did add tulips, and so I actually have tulips blooming right now, which is super fun. It gives me something earlier, and they're beautiful, so I am a fan of tulips. Also, another big change we'll be doing this year. Last year with my U-Pick, it was kind of my trial run. I didn't really have a set schedule. I just posted maybe even the week of what days I would be open and times. I did it on purpose. I wanted to be able to stand back and assess my beds and decide, yes, I feel good about people coming out, or no, I need to do some extra work. I need to weed or let the blooms come back better, but I just didn't really have a schedule, so I know that was super inconvenient for the customers, just not knowing when I would be open, naturally. And so this year, we will have a set schedule. Obviously, that'd be subject to change with weather, emergencies, but I will have it put up on my website. They can plan weeks ahead of time, and I think that will prove really beneficial. I also am planning on doing some on-farm events for the U-Pick. I'll try to have maybe a dried flower event, a girls' night out U-Pick, maybe a kids U-Pick, and have some science lessons involved. So ideas flowing around that for sure. But I'm going to focus a lot on my U-Pick this year. I think there's a lot of room for growth there, and I think a lot of people like that. So that's kind of where I'm shifting my focus. I also love the bouquet subscriptions. I am really going to be advertising and pushing for more of those. That, as a business owner, is steady income. I know what I need to make each week. Taking bouquets to the farmer's market, it's a lot of work, and you might sell out in an hour and a half one morning with the most bouquets you've ever brought, or you might take home half, and you never know. It's very hard to predict, and so that is where the subscriptions are really nice. I know what I need to make. I know where I'm taking them, and so I love the subscription, so I'm also wanting to be expanding those. And later, I have so many ideas and aspirations for where Sown could go. One thing that you've probably picked up on throughout is that there is a certain seasonality to flowers in Oklahoma, and I am very limited on when I can grow and sell flowers. So up until now with the tulips, I had been just having flowers blooming basically from June through September. So I'm making money 4 months out of the year, and I'm not just working 4 months out of the year. I'm working a lot of months, but I only have income coming in those 4 months mainly. And so that would be a goal of mine to extend that growing season. And that would be through investing in things like hoop houses and being able to kind of control the climate in which the flowers are being grown during the winter. And so that's a goal of mine. That is a lot of work with all the storms and wind that Oklahoma has. Hoop houses can be really tricky, but I think that that would be a really beneficial addition to the flower farm. Let's see if I missed anything that I wanted. I think we're good. So here's kind of the back of my business card. So if you want to snap pictures, my website, it's where my subscriptions are, and then also where my UPick tickets will be this summer. And yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is really where I do most of my advertising. It just worked out that way. That's where I've gotten the most traction. So thankful for that. Not my favorite app, not my favorite thing, social media, but grateful for it for this for sure. So that's it.
Are there any questions?
Yes.
So how does your subscription service work? Do you deliver? Do they pick up at a certain location? Or how does that work?
Yeah, so she asked about my subscriptions, how they work. So it is 4 large bouquets, and you're able to choose what increment you would like them. So I have a monthly, which is 1 bouquet a month, June through September. I have a biweekly, which is 2 a month, either June and July, July and August, so a 2-month increment throughout September. And then I have a weekly, which is once a week for a month. And so each of those 125, and I can deliver for an additional $30 for the whole thing, not individual deliveries, but that is an option for delivery. And so then pick up at my farm. And I also go to Enid once a week anyways, so I deliver flowers there as well for subscriptions. So that's really fun. Yes.
How can our community best support you?
Thanks for asking. I think probably word of mouth, honestly. I think that there are still a lot of people who, since Facebook is really my only way I advertise, I miss people, obviously, who either don't have Facebook or don't follow. So sharing on Facebook is really nice, but I think the word of mouth, just letting people know I'm there. Some people don't know that that's an option during the summer, so I think that would be awesome. Thank you. Yes.
For the UPick, is there any kind of support? So if somebody comes out there and they're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to pick, like, do you
Yeah.
go around and like help and say like, what kind of
I totally can. I'm kind of in between checking people in, but I also, if I know that people want that, I will definitely go, hey, how's it going? You know, I'm really encouraging, pick as many as you want, stuff that cup full, don't skimp, there's plenty out there. And so I have specific rows. I mean, you'll know where you're allowed to go, and which is basically a lot of it. So, and then I also do have a pretty lengthy little PDF that I email. Not many people looked at it, which is totally fine. But if you're a go-getter and you want all the info, I even go as far to say, if the bloom looks like this, it might be a little old, so go for one that looks like this, cut here kind of thing. So there is that option, but once you get out there, you really just want to have fun.
Is
And
that PDF on any of your?
it is not, it is not yet, but I should do that. Yeah, that would be good. Yep. Any others?
So when you do the U-Pick it, do you have like a reservation system?
Yes, so for the U-Picks, I haven't put my address out there since it is my home. Everyone has it. It's actually on Google if you just Google Sown. But I haven't posted it to Facebook, and that just feels kind of good. And so for now, at least, until it picks up, and I mean, everyone knows where we live anyways, but I have been doing kind of it's been really confusing. I actually need to find a better way of doing it. And so what I did was I had a reservation. It was free. You went on, you just said, yeah, I'm coming. I have approximately this number of people. It didn't matter who all showed up, but yeah, I'm coming. Then I sent an email with my address, and then you pick instructions, more like, wear closed-toed shoes, there will be bugs, stuff like that. And so I have a little paper picture that I send with all that info. And so I do want it to be a reservation-based. I don't want it to just be a free-for-all and anyone show up. I kind of want to know who's there. So but it wasn't good how I did it. It was too confusing. And so I'm working on a better way of doing that. But there will be some sort of reservation, just to be able to get that info to you is the main thing.
Any other questions? I want to thank you for coming and presenting at 1 Million Cups today. And with that, our next program will be, I wrote it on my cup, it's very professional, May 7th. It's Combat Syndicate will be here, so please join us again first Wednesday in May for the next 1 Million Cups. And again, thank you to Anna for coming and sharing her story today.
Thank you.
She'll come.